Hello students, welcome to Maths Academy. Now in the yesterday class we have done a few problems. This is included in the lecture 2, how to solve the definite integral using the substitution method. Now today class is the continuation of the lecture 2, and today we are going to solve more problems on the same concept, that is the definitions and using the concept of substitutions. Now in the last class we have solved up to the question number 6. Today from question number 7 we are start solving. Now question number 7 is I1 is an integral to integration a to x ft dt. A to x ft dt. I2 is the integration from b to c f of t dt. I3 is the integrations to a to b to a f of t dt. Now it is given that a, b and c are positive real numbers and the functions f is continuous. F is the continuous function, and it is also given that I1, I2 and I3, these integral are in AP. Now we have to prove that f is a constant function. These things we have to prove. Now first understand the questions. I1, I2, I3 is given. I1 value 2 times of a to x ft dt. I2 is b to c ft dt. I3 is 2 times of b to a ft dt. Now here it is mentioned that a, b, c are the positive real number. F is a continuous function and I1, I2, I3 are in AP. Now we have to prove that f is a constant function. f जो है एक constant function है, ये हम लोग को prove करना. तो now in solution, since it is mentioned that I1, I2, I3 are in AP, so we can write as 2 times of I2 is equal to I1 plus I3. Now 2 times of I2 value is this b to c ft dt is equal to I1 value 2 times of a to x ft dt plus I3 value 2 times of b to a ft dt. So now from two sides we can cancel out 2, and here we assume that phi x is the primitive. We assume phi x is the primitive. So now what will happen when we integrate this function, we get phi. So phi of t and the value from b to c. Now here after integration we have phi t and the value a to x. When we solve this quantity we get phi of t value b to a. So now substitute the value phi of c, phi of b is equal to phi of x minus phi of a plus phi of a minus phi of b. Now few terms are cancelled out. Phi of a minus phi of a cancel out. Phi of b and minus phi of b from both sides cancel out. So what we have? We have phi of c is equal to phi of x. Now phi of c is equal to phi of x, but phi is what? Phi is the primitive of the function f. Okay, now phi of c is a what? Phi of c is the constant, because c is a positive real number and the value of the primitive at a particular point must be a constant. So now we are going to differentiate both sides. What we have, this value will be 0 because differentiation of constant is 0, and here we have phi dash x. Okay, now we know that since phi x is the primitive of the function f, so therefore relation is f is nothing but phi dash, so therefore we can write it is nothing but fx. So fx is equal to 0 for all x belonging to real number. So this implies that fx is a constant function. Fx is a constant function. Now this completes our proof. Now we are going for the next problem. This problem is also very interesting problem. Now problem is what? One integral is given in question number 8. Question is like this, question number 8. In is equal to 0 to pi by 4 t tan to the power n x dx, tan to the power nx dx. Okay, now we have to show that 1 by I1, 1 by I2 plus I4, comma 1 by I3 plus I5, comma 1 by I4 plus I6, comma 1 by I5 plus I7. These terms are in AP. We have to prove that these values are in AP. We have to prove. So these values are in AP. Now how can we find this? Now if you look in this term, so you see that if one value is 2, other value is 4. If one value is 3, other value is 5. So therefore difference between two index is 2. So if we know the value of n, so we first try to calculate what is the value of n plus 2. So it will be 0 to pi by 4. Now tan power n plus 2 x dx. Okay, in we already know, so we adding these two terms. So we get 0 to pi by 4, we taking common. So therefore we have tan n plus 2x plus tan nx, then we have dx. Now from these two terms we can take common tan power nx. So in the bracket we have here tan square x. From here we have 1. So you know the formula, 1 plus tan square x is nothing but sec. So we get tan nx sec square x dx. So now we can easily evaluate it. We substitute sec x is equal to some variable. So I am substituting as sec x is equal to t. Okay. So now derivative of sec x is now if we substitute tan x, then we easily get the answer. So I am considering as tan x is equal to t. Now derivative of tan is what? Sec. Sec square x dx should be dt. Okay, so now here we get I is equal to, now when you put x is equal to 0, the value of t is also 0. When you put x is equal to pi by 4, the value of t is 1. Tan pi by 4 is 1. So now here we consider tan as t, so it will be t to the power n. Now derivative of tan, that is sec square x dx, this part is replaced by dt. So now here we have t power n plus 1 by n plus 1. So that is the value of I, that is the value of I n plus 2 plus in. Okay, so now putting the value 0 to 1, what we have? 1 by n plus 1. So I n plus 2 plus in, we have the value 1 by n plus 1. Now take its reciprocal, 1 by I n plus 2 plus in, which is equal to reciprocal of this quantity, that is n plus 1. Okay, I think up to this you don't have any problem. तो उसके बाद से मैं फिर एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ. तो we get the value of I of n plus 2 plus in. Okay, so now here I am putting n is equal to, suppose put here n is equal to 2. So what we have? 1 by I2 plus I4. So when n is equal to 2, the value is 2 plus 1, 3. Then put n is equal to 3. So what we have? I3 plus I5, the value is 4. Next put n is equal to 4. So then we have I4 plus I6, whose value is nothing but 5. So now we get the value of this quantity as 3, then 4, then 5, in this way 6. So we see that these terms are in AP with first term as 3, this is our first term, and if we find the common difference, it will be 4 minus 3, that is equal to 1. So this completes our proof that the integrals value are in a2. Okay, now next we are going to solve another problem. Now this problem is also very interesting problem, and this is related to the mod. Question number 9. Now question number 9, integrations given as 0 to 3 mod x minus 1 multiply with x minus 2, x minus 1 multiply with x minus 2 whole mod dx, and suppose this is r. We have to calculate this value. So now first of all we want to know what are the critical points. Critical points are what? Where the these terms are 0. So suppose since this is in the whole mod, so you can write as x minus 1 for the critical point. This term should be 0. So critical point is what? If you have the mod x, where the mod x will be 0, these points are called the critical point. So now we make each term equal to 0, so we get the value of x 1 and 2. Okay, so now what we do, suppose when we take the first function x minus 1, when we take x minus 1, so this x minus 1 has the critical point 1. So now after 1 this term, particular this term is positive. So x minus 1 is positive when you put any value of x more than 1, and before that this value of this term is negative. Okay, now we draw one vertical line from the 1. Now put x is equal to 2. Now for this we take another line. Here we put 2. 2 is left of right of 1. So now here we see that this term will be positive if you put any value of x more than 2. So here this term is positive, and less than 2 the term x minus 2 is negative. So here the term is negative. Okay, this is for x minus 2, this function. So now we have to find the value of the integration when the limit is given as 0 to 3. So that means suppose here 0 value, we draw one vertical line, and here the value is 3. Suppose value is 3 here. Okay, you can take here, no problem, no issue. So now we break the integral like this from 0 to 1, from 0 to 1 because 1 is the critical point, then from 1 to 2 because 2 is the another critical point, then we put the function 2 to 3. So now what will happen when we take the interval 0 to 1, we see that the first term is negative and the second term is also negative. So when we open the mod, because these two terms are given, so you consider as product of the two terms, you can consider as like this, no problem. So when the first term you remove the mod sign, it will give negative sign, minus of x minus 1. This term also give you the negative sign. So ultimately what will happen, so here we have minus of x minus 1, minus of x minus 1 into again minus of x minus 2. So ultimately minus minus plus. So you can write in this way, x minus 1, x minus 2 dx, because minus minus becomes plus. Okay, now when we consider the interval 1 to 2, what will happen in 1 to 2, this term, that means x minus 1, this term is positive. So when you remove the mod, it will be x minus 1, there will be no sign change. What about this term from 1 to 2, this term is negative sign. So when you remove the mod, you have to give one negative in front of it. So it will be x minus 2 and before of it negative. So I am taking the negative sign here. Now come to the last interval, that is going from 2 to 3. So you see that the x minus 1 is positive after 1. So here is also positive, no problem, it is also positive. So when you remove the mod sign, it will be x minus 1, x minus 2 only dx. So I think all of you understand how to take the sign. This is very important of these sums. After that there is no problem, you can just simply multiply and take the integrations value. Okay, so now after this, after doing this, when you get the integral, so you can solve in this way, like x square minus 3x plus 2 integration 0 to 1 dx. Now same result you obtained here, x square minus 3x plus 2 integration from 1 to 2 dx, and the last part will be 2 to 3 x square minus 3x plus 2 dx. So now when we integrate this term, we get x cube by 3 minus 3x square by 2 plus 2x integration from 0 to 1. Now here you get x cube by 3 minus 3x square by 2 plus 2x integration from 1 to 2. Last part you have x cube by 3 minus 3x square by 2 plus 2x, and the integration is from 2 to 3. Now just simply the upper limit and lower limit, and you can simplify it. You easily get the answer I have written here, 11 by 6. Try to just do the calculations part. Now next problems we are going to solve. This problem is also very interesting sums. Now how can we solve this? Question number 10. Question number 10. Question is like that. I is given as 0 to infinity, x square plus ax plus 1 divided by x power 4 plus 1. Now tan inverse 1 by x dx. This I value is given. Now we have to find this limit. Limit n tends to infinity. If you take I by a, what is its value? Limit n tends to infinity, I by a. We have to find this value. So first of all we have to calculate the value of this integral I. So now if tan inverse x is not there, then the sum is very simple and we can easily integrate it. But the problem appears due to this inverse function. So to remove this inverse function, I give one substitution, 1 by x is equal to t. Achha, now you think that if I am taking x is equal to, if I am take the substitution 1 by x is equal to t, and if you put the 0 it will become infinity. So there is no problem, because when you take the substitution, what will happen at the end points, if the function is not defined or not continuous, there will be no problem. But between the point it cannot be undefined or discontinuous. At the end points we can use the L'Hospital and we can find the value, no problem. So 1 by x I am taking t. So what will happen? So from here we do the derivative, we get 1 by x square, 1 by I can write in this way, x is equal to 1 by t. So therefore doing the derivative dx, 1 by t square dt I am taking. So now what is the lower limit? When x is equal to 0, t becomes infinity. When x is equal to infinity, t becomes 0. Now we put here x is 1 by t. So ultimately we have 1 by t square plus a by t, then plus 1, then 1 by t power 4, then 1. And here you have tan inverse 1 by t means x, 1 by t means 1 by x means t, and value of dx is nothing but 1 by t square dt. So now when we simplify, this negative sign will come outside, so we get minus infinity to 0. Now after simplifications we get in the upper part t square at plus 1, and the lower part we have t4 power 1. Okay, because 1 t square cancel out with this t power 4, and here we have tan inverse of t. So now since the integral has the negative sign in front of it, so we can change the limit, upper limit and lower limit, we can interchange it, so this sign become positive. So t square at plus 1 by t power 4 plus 1 tan inverse of t and dt. So now you know that in case of definite integral, the function fx integration a to b dx is same as integration a to b ft dt. It is same, there is no problem. So here if you replace the t variable by the x variable, there will not be any changes. So therefore in the next step I am writing like this, 0 to infinity. So we have x square plus ax plus 1 divided by x power 4 plus 1 and tan inverse x dx. So this is my second equation, and the given equations I am calling as first equation. So now I am going to add 1 and 2. So if we add 1 and 2, we get I plus I in the left hand side, and in the right hand side 0 to infinity is common, x square ax plus 1 by x power 4 plus 1, and in the bracket we have, from here we get tan inverse 1 by x, and from here we have tan inverse x outside dx. Okay, so now here we get I plus I 2i, which is equal to 0 to infinity, then x square ax plus 1 by x power 4 plus 1, and you know that tan inverse 1 by x is nothing but cot inverse x, because here what happened, here x is positive, 0 to infinity. So when tan inverse you convert cot, so it simply you can convert it, no problem. So now tan inverse and cot inverse, it gives you pi by 2. We take pi by 2 outside, so it will be 0 to infinity x square ax plus 1 by x power 4 plus 1. So ultimately we achieve our target. We are able to remove the inverse function, that is tan inverse, removed from the questions. So now whatever we have from this quantity we can easily integrate. Now we can find the value of I is equal to, these two comes here, it will be pi by 4. So now this integral we can very easily solve. So now after that, here I am going to write in this space. So now I can be written as pi by 4, 0 to infinity, and this part will be x square plus 1 by x power 4 plus 1 dx. Okay, now plus 0 to infinity, last part ax by x power 4 plus 1 dx. So now here pi by 4, 0 to infinity. Now this is a very special type of format. So in this form we have to divide numerator and denominator by x. So 1 plus 1 by x square. So therefore x square by 1 by x square, dividing numerator and denominator by x square. Okay, so we get this quantity. Now here dx, from here I am taking a outside and dividing by 2, and the numerator multiplying by 2. This thing I can write as x square whole square plus 1 dx. So now in this case I can write as x square plus 1 by x square, I can write as like this, x minus 1 by x whole square plus 2. Okay, so now we have this part. Okay, now in this integral, in the first integral I put the substitution x minus 1 by x equal to u, and in this integral, second integral, I am putting x square is equal to z. So now what will happen, this becomes pi by 4 is outside. Now integration, when you put x is equal to 0, what will happen, this part 0, but this part become minus infinity. When you put x is equal to infinity, it will be plus infinity. So now when you derivative this part, so you get what, numerator, so you get du. In the lower part you have u square, and these two can be written as root over of 2 whole square. Now second integral a by 2, when you put x square equal to z, 2x dx, you get dz. So therefore numerator part it will be dz, and denominator becomes z square plus 1. So now what will be the limit, when you put x 0 you get 0, when you put x infinity, z is also infinity. So now we get the standard form and we can apply the formula here. So in the first case we have pi by 4 outside, then when you integrate it you get what, 1 by root over 2 tan inverse x by a. So x value u by root 2. Okay, now this value I am taking infinity to minus infinity to plus infinity, and there is I am giving one bracket more. Now this part will become what, a by 2. here again we use the tan inverse formula. So here we have tan inverse z and limit moving from 0 to infinity, limit 0 to infinity. So now here we have pi by 4. When we put plus infinity, we get pi by 2, so it will be 1 by root 2 pi by 2. Minus, when you put minus infinity, again you get minus pi by 2, so minus minus become plus. So 1 by root 2, again pi by 2. Okay, now this part completes. From this part you have, when you put z is equal to infinity, you get pi by 2. When you put z is equal to 0, it becomes 0. So these things we have. So now here we have pi by 4 into, now pi by 2 root 2 and pi by 2 root 2, it will be 2 pi by 2 root 2. 2 pi by 2 root 2. 2 cancel. So we have pi by root 2 only. Plus here we have pi into a by 4, and here 4 we have 16, and pi into pi square. So pi square a by 16, and here we have pi square by 4 root 2. Okay, these things we have, but we have to find what? We have to find limit n tends to infinity I by a. So I think up to these steps is clear. Now see this first. So now value of this limit n tends to infinity I value is what? Pi square 4 root 2 plus pi square a by 16 whole divided by a, and we have to take a tends to infinity, not n, it will be a tends to infinity. So limit n tends to infinity, so we have pi square by 4 root 2a plus limit a tends to infinity pi square a by 16 into a. These two terms cancel out. Here if we put a is equal to infinity, we get 0. From here we have pi square by 16. So ultimately answer is pi square by 16. Hope all of you understand this. So now next we are going to solve another problem. Next problem is also very interesting and very easy sums also. Now the question is what? It will be question number 11. Question number 11. Question is, find the value of this integral I 1 to a x a power box of log of x base a. This. Now this is greatest integer function having the log. Greatest integer function having the log x base a. Log x base a. We have to find this integral. Integral I is integral 1 to a x a to the power minus box of log x base a. So now you see that the value of x is from 1 to a. So you can write x belongs to 1 to a. You can take open interval or closed interval. In case of integration, it does not make any difference. But you have to find log of x base a, and we know that log is the increasing function. Log is increasing function. So you can write as log of 1 base a comma log of a base a. So this implies log of x base a belongs to log of 1. Achha, here one thing also mentioned, a is greater than 1. In the question it is also mentioned a is greater than 1. So log of 1 base a, it is given as what? 0, and log of a base a is 1. Okay, so now we know that log of x base a belongs to 0 to 1. So if you want to take its box, what will happen? Log of x base a, it will be any value lying between 0 to 1. If you take its box, it will be 0. Greatest integer function, है ना? Greatest integer function should be 0. Now what is the value? So I becomes like this, 1 to a x value a power 0 dx. So a power 0 is nothing but 1. So 1 to a x dx. So we can write as x square by 2 value 1 to a. So therefore we have 1 by a, 1 by 2 a square minus 1. So this is the answer for this question. Now we are going to solve another one problem. This question sometime asked in the board exams also. So this is a very important question but very easy. All of you can solve it easily. In CBSE board exam, in ISC exam and West Bengal board exams, this question many times come. Question number 12. I is given as 0 to pi by 4. 0 to pi by 4. Here is sin x plus cos x divided by 9 plus 16 sine of 2x dx. We have to find the value of this integral. So we can do one thing. Here we apply one special substitution like this. I is equal to 0 to pi by 4. First we write sin x plus cos x. Okay. So now here we have 9. Then put 16. Then write here 1 plus sine 2x minus 1. So plus 1 minus 1 cancel out and ultimately we have what? Sin 2x we have 0 to pi by 4. Now here we have sin x plus cos x in the numerator. In denominator what will happen? 16 plus 1 25 and from these two you take minus common, it will be 16 1 minus sin 2x. Okay. So now 0 to pi by 4. Here we have sin x cos x dx. Now here 25 minus 16. Now this is what one can be written as sin square x plus cos square x, that is equal to 1. So 1 can be written like this and sin 2x you can write as minus 2 sin x cos x, no problem. So it can be written as sin x minus cos x whole square. If you take cos x minus sin x, it will not be any problem. Any one you can write sin x minus cos x whole square. So now if you put sin x minus cos x is equal to some variable u, what will happen? Sin x derivative is cos x minus cos x derivative is plus sin x. So therefore we get the numerator. Okay. So now here we put sin x minus cos x is equal to some variable u. So therefore I will become like du divided by 25 minus 16 u square. What is the limit in that case? When x is 0, so cos 0 is minus 1. When x is pi by 4, sin pi by 4, cos pi by 4, 1 by root 2 minus 1 by root 2, 0. So now this is in the standard form and the form is what? Standard form is dx by a square minus x square. Result is 1 by 2a log of a plus x by a minus x. This is the result. Now same result we are using here. So first is 1 by 2a. So we can write 1 by 2. Our a value here is what? Now it is 25. I can write as 5 square. So a becomes 5. Now 16 u square. I can write 16 u square as 4u whole square. Okay. 4u whole square. So now 1 by 2a. A value 5. So now log of a plus x. A value 5 plus x value 4u divided by a minus x, a value 5 and x value 4u. Okay, 4u. So now one more thing, the coefficient of u is 4. So you have to divide this whole integral by 4. So you get 4 here. So now take its limit from what? From minus 1 to 0. So here you have 1 by 40. When you put 0 here, what will happen? Log 5 by 5, that means log of 1. And log of 1, you know that 0. Minus, if you put here u is equal to minus 1, what will happen? 5 minus 4, that is 1, and 5 plus 4, that is 9. So you get here a log of 1 by 9. So very easily you can write in this way, 1 by 40. This minus sign you can avoid like this, taking log of 3 to the power minus 2. So it will become 1 by 40 minus 2 into minus 1 log of 3. Base e is also there. So this 2 and 40 cancel out, you have 1 by 20 log of 3 base e, and this is the final answer, 1 by 20 log of 3 base e. So now students, we have completed the second lecture also, in which we have we have done 12 sums from the definition or the statement of fundamental theorem of integral calculus and the method of substitutions. So in the lecture 3 we will start the properties of definite integrations, and after the discussion of the property, then I will go for the problem solving or go for the exercise. So now dear, if you like my problem solving strategy, or if it's helpful to you, then please subscribe my channels and inform or circulate to in your friend circles. Okay, and give me your feedback also. If you have any doubt or if you have any questions, you can also email me this is my email ID, or you can contact me over phone also, and I will be very glad if I will do something which gives you a way to achieve your goal. And hope all of you enjoy my class. Thank you. Bye.